Regardless of how skilled a supervisor or manager becomes at coaching and giving constructive feedback, he or she is bound to make one or more of the most frequent feedback mistakes. In the day-to-day workplace environment, it can be difficult for even the best supervisors to consistently apply the productive skills they know how to use. Pressures or distractions can make it harder to do the right things. Acknowledging the pitfalls of the most frequent feedback mistakes will help you prevent yourself from making them. There are 5 primary mistakes supervisors and managers make when attempting to give feedback. First, giving too much at once. Also known as gunny sacking, this mistake commonly occurs when supervisors wait too long to give feedback. They save it all up and then pour it out all at once. From the perspective of the feedback recipient, it seems completely unfair to have so much dumped on you at once. Second, too much to change. Targeting feedback toward the one thing that would leverage the most significant positive difference in a performer's results is the mark of a skilled leader and coach. But if you ask a performer to do more than he or she is capable of, you will only set the performer as well as yourself up for disappointment and discouragement. Be sure to offer feedback in regard to something you are confident the performer is capable of changing. Third, not from the performer's frame of reference. For feedback recipients to embrace the feedback, they must first understand why the change is important to them and how improvement in that behavior will make a difference. Remember the first step for effectively setting performance expectations? Explaining why a behavior matters to the performer, to you, and to the organization will allow the performer to take ownership of the outcome. We all know that "because I said so, that's why" is not an adequate reason. If the only reason we have to change a behavior comes from someone else's perspective, we feel denied of ownership of the result. When this happens, the extent to which we care about that result is diminished. Fourth, not objective. The ability to describe behavior objectively is a key skill when giving constructive feedback. Name-calling or categorizing someone as a slacker or not a team player will only leave that person feeling unfairly slighted, singled out, and picked on. To truly deliver constructive feedback, you must learn to describe behavior objectively, in terms of what a completely unbiased observer would see and hear. Fifth, not balanced. Some feedback methodologies include always telling the performer something to continue doing before asking them to change. In other words, always giving positive recognition before the constructive feedback. I think that if you do this every time you deliver feedback, it can come off as insincere, even manipulative. I know if I were the recipient of this style of feedback, I would be waiting for the second part I knew was coming. And I would put less credibility into the first part. I would be thinking, yeah, just cut to the chase and tell me what you want me to do differently. A much better suggestion, in my view, is to think of your relationship with your team as a running bank account. If to date you have given performers at least 2 recognition statements for every piece of constructive feedback, you will have established an account of trust between you, which will carry a positive balance. You will not find yourself in a trust deficit. And you will be able to ask performers to change without it becoming a big deal because they feel like the only type of feedback they get from you is when you want them to do something differently. As we move into the next section and actually begin planning to give constructive feedback using the point method, you will see how such a method can help you avoid these 5 frequent feedback mistakes.